I did glue it together. Just forgot to press fucking record again.
Yeah, g'day, it's Corey. I've decided to use burl for the top and the back, so I'm just drawing an outline, cutting it, putting it through the thickness sander. So in the last one I basically made 2 neck lengths, 15 laminations across, and then I cut them into fretboard widths, thicknesses, and then cut a scarf and started gluing veneers on top and the back of those tiles, as I call them. And now we're working on the body because the other pieces needed a bit more thought, so I thought, you know what, fuck it, let's do the body. So this is the guitar I want people, ideally, if someone goes, oh, you know, Corey from Salford, you go, oh yeah, you made this burl guitar with the crazy neck. Yeah, it's fucking cool, eh? That's what I want this to be. Ben from Lighthouse made a great suggestion the other night about the body shape, which I said in the first episode. I have, there's another inspiration for it, and they know who they are. So, yeah, done the body, very thicknesser. I use the thickness sander way too much. I need to get a thickness tiny enough. That's waiting until I go back to work, and maybe next year, given how much time there is to save between then and there. So this is gluing the scarf on. Oh no, it's not. It's gluing the 2 tiles together, so it's a lot easier to glue onto the scarf joint in the heel of the neck. You'd think I'd know about this shit. I was up until about 2 o'clock editing the actual video of this, and then I'm doing voiceover in my car the next day.
Four tiles, how far is it?
Oh, and here's a sneak little peek of what the neck's going to look like. And yeah, it's not straight, but it'll do. I was going to leave the centre line on here as long as I want. No, not as long as I could. I do have it on the end grain of the guitar, top and back, but I wanted to sand the epoxy down. What I'm going to do is I'm going to this blue that's filling in the voids, I want to make that up and use that as a top layer on the burl, and then so you can still see the burl, but just have it like a grain fill and have it blue. Blue blue's probably the nicest colour out there. You get to have any nice blues, so just sanding it all down. When I do the top, I'll end up doing the top coat, getting that all nice and flat, and then cut the F-holes and pick up. Well, the pickup routes can wait, but the F-holes need doing because I want to, pretty certain I'm going to bind the fuck out of this guitar again. So I'm going to do the F-holes a bit bigger and then bind the F-holes. This is the body. It's flooded. Yeah, flooded gum. I always get flooded gum and spotted gum mixed up. I bought this slab off a guy on Marketplace. And yeah, it does have a few cracks in it, but I'll sort them out later with a bit of epoxy, some sawdust and that. Bit of glue. And I'll probably use some resin if there's any cracks outstanding later on. The initial cut on that was down a split, and then I wanted to make it easier to resaw, so I made them to be about the size that I wanted them to be, and then the cut that I made just then on them was a lot better than the first cut, so I'm going to use that edge to join it. And you know, there's a rough saw, so it took a while to sand, and I really need a thickness planer, but that's going to have to wait. But yeah, I need a better rip fence as well. But I wouldn't have been able to do this last week with the way that blade was. And I do have a spare blade now, so if this one fucks up, I can just chuck the new one on there, and I'm going to have a spare one all the time. And with the drum sander rolls, I'm going to cut my own because it's cheaper to get a 50-foot roll than to get stuff that's already cut. Like, I'll just keep an old belt and I'll use that as a template. And then if I was really fucking organised, I'd make a cardboard template of that so I can just chuck away the old belt. But I use the old belts to do the boot polish thing when I shape necks. Anyway, there's a bit of the filibuster. Bit of a, not a rant. Oh, so I had a piece of Camphor lying around from the previous guitar I'm building, which we'll probably have a YouTube series before this one. I don't know yet. But yeah, I had leftover from it, so I ended up using that as a center section because the flooded gum wasn't quite wide enough for this body shape, which is fine. I'd end up putting veneer between each glue joint, and on the outside ones, like either side of this Camphor center block, I doubled it up just so I'd have a little bit more space. And yeah, gluing up, I love glue ups. Not really, but yeah, well over fucking glue ups, and I've got a fucking shitload more to go. So this is where I'm sanding the thickness, getting the old cut marks out from both where he milled it and where I cut it. I had someone say, why don't you just finish it off? And this is what I'm doing. The bandsaw left deep cuts in it from my bandsaw, and both pieces were in exactly the same level, so it just took a while. And what I'm doing here is I'm actually using the bandsaw to chamber the body so I wouldn't have to use the router so much, because using the router sucks. So this one wasn't too bad, but the second one it took a bit longer because I had to drill a hole into it, and then I was using the battery drill, and then went use a drill press stick head, and it still took a while to drill through because it's fucking tough wood now. Here I am, well not here, but in the next shot, I'm gluing some veneer, and only the end bits will be seen, the middle section won't be seen, but I made sure it was oversized so I could glue this wing down, and then I had to put a bit of veneer in where I used the bandsaw to cut in through. And as I said, you'll only see the end grain because the top and the back's going on it. So there's no gaps in it. It's just, I decided to do it this way just because the router probably would have took about an hour to get all the way through. So I did it this way. I'll clean it up with the router, but that's today's job after I'm done uploading this because I need space on my phone.
Okay.
I really wanted to see what this neck length was going to look like, so I ended up cutting off the excess, joining it down a bit, and then used the belt sander to get the top flat. Makes it a lot easier when I do the next lot of tiles too, to have it pretty much flat so I know what size to cut them to. And the video froze, so here I'm using a bit of the offcuts to make a headstock plate. It will be thickness down a fair bit, and the headstock's going to be the new asymmetric Wes Borland / Yamaha / how I did my headstocks before, and it's a shape I like, so I can't wait to use it. That's it for the AR85 build this time. Please like, sub, share, and I'll catch you soon.